Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Let's do a seated movement practice together. You can be on the floor or you can be on a chair if you prefer. If you're on a chair, try to sit such that your feet comfortably reach the floor and you're able to plant your feet on the floor. If you're seated on the ground, you might like to sit up a little higher on a folded blanket or a cushion of some kind, just so that you can have a little bit more of a comfortable and easy seat. And you do not have to be cross-legged. So if this is not the position for you, please feel free to change it up if you like. I'm going to start by taking a moment just to feel into your connection to the floor. You can do this with your eyes closed or open as you prefer. See where you can maybe relax a little bit, get a little heavier down into the support of the earth. Tune into the movement of your breath, just as it is. Maybe start to slow and deepen your breath a little bit. And as you do that, see if you can start to feel as you're breathing in that you're expanding into your side ribs so that the sides of your body are expanding out wider as you inhale. And relaxing as you exhale. Finding a little more expansion in your side bodies. Maybe even feeling a little bit of that inhale breath all the way up into your armpits. You might see how it feels to bring a little more of your inhale breath now into your back ribs. Your back ribs don't move all that much, but you do have a lot of space in the back of your lungs. There's tons of room back there. So just see if you can tap into that spaciousness, maybe feeling the expansion of your lungs within the back of the ribcage. And for a few breaths, you might imagine that you're drawing your inhale all the way down into the bottom of the pelvic bowl. It's like you're inhaling all the way down to the floor or the chair. Notice how that feels for a few breaths. And then you might see if you can put it all together. So now you're inhaling into the front, sides, and back of your rib cage, filling your lungs from the top to the bottom. Exhaling back out through the nose. Lovely. And we're going to add a little movement with the arms now. So as you start to move your arms, you may find that you become a little less intentional about the breath at times, and that's okay. Keeping a fuller, deeper inhale and just getting curious about what happens as you breathe and move together. Because the movement of the arms will start to change a little bit what happens with your breath. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale, take the arms all the way up, as much as is comfortable, and then as you exhale, the arms are going to float back down to the ground, and you're going to see if you can match up the movement and the rhythm of your breath, inhaling to lift up Exhale to float the arms down. We'll do that at least a few more times. Moving in your own rhythm, finding the connection between your breath and the movement. And then the next time your arms come all the way up, you're going to pause at the top. And then we're going to come into a little twist, bringing your left hand over to your right leg, right arm behind you, twisting over to your right. And for today, let's use the arms kind of as anchors rather than as levers. So we're not trying to necessarily pull your body further into the twist. In fact, your legs and your hips are going to stay really grounded and quiet and still. And you're going to find breath again within the rib cage. Your breath will feel a little more restricted when you're twisted. That's okay. If you're in a chair, it's all good. You might even need to have your back hand just a little bit closer to your body. Totally fine. When you're ready, you're going to use an inhale to unwind, lift your arms tall. And then as you exhale, you're going to twist to the left. Right hand comes over to the left leg, left hand comes behind you. Notice if you want to push with your legs or your arms. See if you can let the lower body be quiet. And just come into that twist gently, gently. And then find your breath within the whole rib cage, even though there are some restrictions here. And one more breath. And then use your inhale to unwind. Bring the arms back, up. As you exhale, you're going to bring your right hand down beside your right hip. If you're on a chair, you might bring it to the side of the chair or onto your leg. Left hand stays lifted if your arm and shoulder are okay with that. You can take a side bend over to the right side. And there's lots of ways we can side bend. So sometimes people will side bend more from the waist. Let's shift the weight into the sitting bone and kind of slide over. Instead of that, I want you to really think about almost like you're curving your rib cage over an imaginary ball. So we're really going to work to open up through the side ribs here up into the armpit. And then when you're inhaling, you're going to imagine your inhale coming into those left side ribs. And take a few breaths just to feel that. I'm going to add a little bit of movement with this top arm. So the legs and hips are nice and quiet. You're supported here by your right hand. To the extent that it feels good in your shoulder, you're just going to find a nice big circle here with your top arm. And you're going to move in a range that feels good. So go slowly, especially when there's areas that feel a little bit tight or uncomfortable. If you know you have limitations in your shoulder, please respect those, of course. Otherwise, nice and slow, especially where it starts to feel a little restricted. Just really nice and easy moving through those spaces. Finding the edge where it's still comfortable. And then we might even go the other way. Feels a little different maybe when we go the other direction. Respecting the sensations that you feel. Looking for a range of motion that's comfortable and easy. And then come back into that side bend. When you're ready, lift through the arms to come up. Left hand's going to come down by the left side or onto the lap or onto the chair. Right hand stays up if that feels comfortable for you. And remember, there's all kinds of things that can happen as we side bend. For today, let's imagine that ball underneath the side ribs. So like really leaning here over that imaginary ball as you bring your arm down. This top side then is opening through the side ribs up into the armpit. We'll take a few breaths just to feel the breathing in the whole right side. I'm going to add a little movement with this top arm. So as long as this top shoulder is healthy, I'm going to trace a nice big circle here, really feeling into the edges of your range of motion in this top shoulder. Going super slow through any areas that feel tight. It's like you're really taking the time to map this out for your brain as you go through these areas. Just feeling into where is the movement still comfortable for you. And then you might even go the other way here. And sometimes when we go the other way, the sensation presents differently. The muscles are working differently to create this movement. And so we can run into some different things. No pain here, no numbness, no tingling, just nice, easy movement within a range that is maybe a little challenging, maybe skating along the edges of what's challenging, but not pushing into any areas that feel really uncomfortable. And then when you're ready, you're going to come into that side bend here and come all the way up. Stay lifted through the heart as the hands come down. Bring the hands back behind you. So they could just be on the ground, reaching back to the sides of the chair if you're on a chair. You could reach around to the sides of the back of the chair if you're on a chair. You could bring the hands behind your hips if you have room and interlace the fingers. Lots of options here. And you're going to press the arms down from the shoulder, like you're extending back and down, nice and easy. Take your gaze up slightly towards the top corner of the room if that feels okay. And then as you're breathing here, imagine lengthening more through the breastbone, the sternum, and the front of the chest. Legs stay quiet, hips stay heavy. Letting your breath lengthen and lift a little bit through the heart. And take one more breath here. And then slowly release. Come back to your starting position. Just sitting for a moment, notice how you feel. Noticing anything that shifted for you within just this short practice that we did together. Hope you enjoyed this yoga break. It's a little bit of an opportunity to get your body moving. Thank you for practicing with me. If you have questions about anything we did, please add those in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them for you. And I'd love to hear any experiences you had as well and how you felt after the practice. Take really good care. I hope you have a good rest of your day.